Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're newer here, I'm Teresa Bloor. I'm a skin specialist, a Tropic ambassador and a Tropic team leader, and welcome to my channel. If you've been following my journey for a while now, you know that everything I have achieved so far with Tropic hasn't actually all been about the products. Everything with Tropic starts with the people. And my journey started with some very special people too. And honestly, I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So what I wanted to create for you was something really special. I wanted to create a series that's all about the incredible people who have been part of my Tropic journey, the ones who have inspired me, supported me, challenged me, and help shape the person that I have become today and the path that I have been on so far with Tropic. From the ones who believed in me right at the very beginning, even before I believed in myself, to those who've come into my life at just the right moment. Each of these people has had a huge impact on my motivation, my confidence and my success. So in these videos, I'll be sitting down with them, having real honest conversations about their journeys, their stories and the role that they've played in mine. Because behind every milestone, there's always a story. And behind every story, there are people who made it all possible. Now, everybody sees the results with Tropic, but we don't always see the people behind them. And this person, she's the reason my entire Tropic journey even began. So this first interview in this series feels really special because today I'm sitting down with the person who introduced me to Tropic in the very beginning, the one who knowingly or unknowingly set everything in motion. Some of you might already recognise her. She is a YouTuber already herself. She's built an incredible channel and she has inspired so many people to where she is now. And for me, she was the starting point of everything I have built up with Tropic to date. So I'm beyond excited to finally have sat down a few weeks ago with this person and have this conversation with her and finally to share it with you all. I am delighted to introduce to you Charlotte Jordan. Welcome back everybody. So I just want to introduce you to Charlotte, my executive leader.
Hello.
She's the lady that's fully responsible for everything I'm doing now.
Sorry.
No, it's all good, all good. So before we go on to how we met, just tell us how you began with Tropic.
So I started using Tropic 8 years ago because I started getting, I was having really bad breakouts all along my chin and my jaw, and I'd been having them for about 4 years, and I'd tried so many different products, nothing worked. Found Tropic at a local market, a lady was sharing it there, and went away with some information, did my own research online, ordered some products. Within 3 weeks, my skin started clearing up. And then tried a few more of the skincare products a few months later, was hooked, and then I heard about the ambassador program, and about 6 months after initially using the product, I became an ambassador. To be honest with you, to get discount on my own products, because I learnt about what ingredients were in the products I'd been using for so many years, my whole life, and thought I really want to switch everything over to Tropic Skincare, natural products, but it's going to be very expensive if I and take longer than I wanted it to take if I was paying full price. So I became an ambassador for the discount. My mum very quickly became my best customer. She loved the products as well. Yeah. She's still one of my best customers.
Good old Carol.
And started sharing it with people I worked with, because I was in the military at the time, the few women I worked with, and it started from there.
Yeah. So to confirm then, when you became an ambassador, you were working full time.
I was, yeah.
In an industry that is way off the mark of anything to do with beauty or skincare.
Yeah.
And that's how you began as an ambassador.
Yeah.
So how long did you continue in that dual role for while you were building Tropic up?
So I joined Tropic in January of 2019. At that point, I'd been in the RAF for 11 years.
Wow.
And I carried on. I left the RAF 4 years ago, so I did both alongside each other for 3 years.
Wow.
And I managed to grow my Tropic business along a very busy full-time job, working all sorts of hours, not just 9 to 5, weekends, late nights. I was on call a lot. I was RAF police, so things would happen last minute. And I did that for 3 years, built my business up to leader in the first 2 years.
So you managed to juggle both of working full-time in a career that isn't your 9 to 5, it's, completely full on, as well as building up your Tropic business.
Yeah. And I never intended for my Tropic business to be my primary job, my primary income, which it is now. In the beginning. It was purely because I absolutely loved it. My job in the RAF at the time was very stressful. It was very full on. I was dealing with quite serious crimes within the military, and as you can imagine, that was quite stressful and full on.
Yeah.
So Tropic was my escape. Talking about beauty products and skincare, I loved. It felt stress-free, it felt enjoyable, and it was just that. It was completely different to what I did every day. I got to speak with women mostly through my Tropic business. I worked with mostly men, no offence to the men I worked with. I have lots of friends still now.
It's like your therapy then.
It was, it was my escape. It was real escapism. And even to this day, I'm 7 years into my Tropic business now, and it still is like my happy place. I hear lots of ambassadors describe it as that, and it really is. It's still, even though it's my I always say it's my full-time job, but I don't do full-time hours with it. It is still my happy place. It brings me joy. I don't find it stressful. I just love it, which is why I've always put the effort into it. But I will say in the beginning, when I worked full-time, that was still very much my focus, was my RAF career. And
paid the bills.
It did. And I never intended to leave that behind in the beginning, because I did enjoy it. But so I built my Tropic business up, not by doing lots of hours on it. I will add that. I didn't have that time to work on it. But by consistently doing little bits, 10 minutes here, joining a training call there, a little bit on the weekend before I went out and enjoyed my weekend with my boyfriend at the time. And by consistently doing that, little bits each week, it built up over time. And I really like the saying is people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year. And I think that's so true. We think, oh, well, I've only managed 10 minutes on my Tropic business today. But
that's
actually,
all it needs some days.
Yeah, if you did 10 minutes 3 times a week, imagine how much time that is after a full year.
Absolutely, yeah. How much time of the day do we spend scrolling?
Too much.
Absolutely, and why not use some of that time towards building your financial future?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think when we first crossed paths, you were still in the RAF then, I think.
No, I'd left.
Had you?
I'd left. So you joined 2 years ago, didn't you? So I'd already left.
Yes, okay, yeah. Because I was initially a customer of yours.
Yeah.
Before I became an ambassador.
Mineral Foundation, I
Absolutely.
remember.
yeah. Total godsend. Yeah. And that's how most people tend to become ambassadors. They're actually a customer first, like both of us were, for, you know, the different reasons. And we grew that passion for the products before we became an ambassador.
Yeah.
And that makes life so much easier to talk about with Tropic, doesn't it? If you've got the passion there for the product. So switching from being a passionate customer to being a passionate ambassador is not as difficult as most people think.
No, a lot of people say to me, "Oh, I can't sell. I'm not a salesperson." I would say that about myself. You ask me to sell something, I'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't do that. I'm not a salesperson." But I see it as I simply share what I love. You won't hear me talk much about some of the products because I don't use them that much. You know, for example, the Sun Drench tanning mousse. I have used it before, but I'm a pale girl and I embrace it. Like this weekend, we're away at a Tropic event. I will put instant glow on, 2 seconds, done. So you won't hear me talk much about the Sun Drench because I don't really use it.
A lot of it.
Yeah. So I share the products that I use all the time and that I love. And if people, you know, can relate to me and why I use it and why I love it, and, you know, perhaps my skin concerns that some products have helped with, and they want to try it, then great. But that's simply what I see that I do, is I share what I love, and
I imagine it's just a general conversation you're having with people because they comment on how well you look, how good you look, and the conversation just naturally flows onto Tropic. So it's not about selling at all, is it really?
No, absolutely. I find that tonight's a perfect example. I've put a red lip on. It's not my everyday look. I don't always wear lipstick and things. So when I do it, you know, people are like, "Oh, that looks nice. What's that lipstick?" And I literally tell them, "Oh, this is Hot Poppy from Tropic Skincare." And they're like, "Oh, what's Tropic? I've not heard of that." And it just goes from there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And your example shows that even though you're from a background, career-wise, that has absolutely nothing to do with the beauty industry, you can learn as you go.
Yeah.
And be very successful. You are now an executive leader because of people that you know, mainly from customers, first of all, that have joined the Tropic business to grow their sideline as well. And that has really helped to support you to grow as well. And that was when we met, because I was a mineral makeup customer, as we've said. And I'm just trying to think back to our conversation. January 24.
Yeah.
I'd fell in love with the makeup. Then there was an offer on for some of the skincare. Now, as you guys know, I'm from a beauty background and I've tried lots of beauty products out there, lots of skin products out there. So for me to buy into a skin product, I had to know it really did do the work. So I did my research. Then I had a chat with Charlotte.
I had to be on my A game. She grilled me.
Absolutely, because I wanted to know that the skin products were really top notch, because if they weren't, then I couldn't recommend them. So I tried the skin products for myself. I also bought some skin products for my daughter, who'd got really sensitive skin, which we've always struggled with, and I needed to know that they did what they said they were going to do on the tin or on the tube, because it's all natural. And I think I ordered some of the products in the special offer from the post-Christmas sale, researched into the ingredients, and I thought, you know what, these ingredients and these products really are really good quality, all natural, so there's no preservatives or anything in there. They're all naturally sourced in some way, shape or form, and that really sort of, you know, did interest me. So then I think an ambassador joining offer came up, didn't it? And I said to Charlotte, I think we need to have a chat.
Yeah, I remember actually, I think I went live in my Facebook group with the starter kit, and that's when you commented.
Yes, I think so, yeah. And I will be completely honest, exactly the same as you. I didn't really intend from growing a business from it. I wanted products that worked for me and my family, but for my customers too. So I thought, yeah, I'll go for the ambassador kit. And I had no intention of growing a business straight away, and I didn't. And that's absolutely fine. There is no pressure, is there, in what you do achieve with Tropic. Yeah. There are incentives that can help you along the way, but there is no real pressure from the upline or from Tropic themselves on what you do need to do. It is down to what you can do, and with most people are similar to Charlotte, where they never had a lot of time to start and build the business up. It comes naturally at a pace that is right for you. Yeah. There are incentives to help you along the way if that's what you want to do and build a business and grow a business. Everybody's business is unique, as you can see with both mine and Charlotte's. We've come from very different backgrounds, very different situations, but we have both built up a successful business.
Yeah, my very first year of being an ambassador, because I joined, same as Teresa, in January, that whole first year, I didn't share the ambassador opportunity with anybody. You know, that was never my intention to sort of do it with others, or I didn't even think about that side of the business until my friend asked to join, and she says, oh, I'd like a discount on my products, please. She was a customer of mine. I was like, yeah, you can join as an ambassador. And so I referred her to the lady I joined through, because I didn't know how to do it at the time. Yeah. And that's kind of where it went. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'm being a bit selfish keeping this all to myself. So I shared it with my other customers, and people said, yeah, I'd like to do it as well, please. Yeah. And that's kind of where it started after a year of being an ambassador and just growing up, building up a customer base.
Yeah. So classic example, you know, two very different situations, and both options have worked, you know, for each of us individually in our own situations. So I did slowly build my business up, fully with the support of Charlotte, and after just over 12 months is when I became a Tropic leader. Mm-hmm. And here we are at our leaders event weekend. Yep. So how would you explain the social side of Tropic? Because obviously that is something you've been a lot more involved in.
Yeah, the social side of Tropic and the community it brings is one of my favourite parts. Being from a military background, being in the military is a very tight-knit community. It's very social, and that is one of the things that I was nervous about leaving the military with. Is I thought, oh, my social life, you know, I've got to meet new people, I've got to, you know, make a whole new life for myself, and actually I never had to worry about that, because I have a whole new community, and actually it's better because it's all women. We do have one man in the team. Yes, we do have one man in the team, but it's, you know, I'm with like-minded women. I've made so many friends. I was talking to the ladies earlier about, because for a lot of them, like Teresa, it's their first leaders weekend, which is very exciting. And it got me thinking about my first leaders weekend, where I only knew my leader who I joined with, and she was introducing me to everybody that weekend that we met. And now, because I've been to so many of these events, it can be a little bit daunting at your first one. You only know maybe one person, but when you keep going now, I'm saying hello to everyone. I'll be introducing Teresa and Laura, another leader it's her first event, to everybody else. So you just build and build, your circle gets bigger, which I think is so lovely. And I think sometimes that gets quite hard, especially as you get older, to make new friends. But actually, I think I'm in midlife now, I think I've probably made some of the best friends that I have ever had through Tropic. So it's amazing, this side of it.
And the support you get along the way to help you grow your business.
Tropic cannot do enough for us as ambassadors. Like Teresa said, I don't come from a beauty background. There's always that uncertainty. Oh, do I know enough about the products? Can I share them? You know, you do go through that when you don't come from that background, but the training they give you is amazing.
Yeah, totally.
You have access to it all. You also have access, you know, to a community. In our team now, mine and Teresa's, we have over 180 women, all from different backgrounds, and one man. Sorry, Ricky. Yeah, totally different backgrounds. So much experience, life experience, work experience, and everyone brings something new, because it's not just about the beauty and the skincare, it's about the business side of things, if that's the way you want to go down. So there's so many people to support you with every aspect of the business, whichever aspect you want to focus on.
Totally. So if you think, well, I'm not quite sure I'm ready for it because I've not got the experience, I've not got the knowledge, you will gain that knowledge along the way as you grow.
Yeah,
Perfect
absolutely.
example. Yeah.
And I think you're not alone. Everybody feels perhaps a bit of doubt or a lack of confidence when they start, but that comes, and that's where we come in to support you.
Yeah. So there you go. So we're off to have a fantastic evening now. So I hope you guys have loved chatting along with Charlotte and myself, and you will hear lots more from us, and we will speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. How amazing is Charlotte? Honestly, she's been such a huge inspiration to me, and just sitting down and having that conversation really feels full circle. It's crazy to think that we both actually started in exactly the same way, through an ambassador joining offer. And when you look at the ambassador kit, it's great value for money. The ambassador joining kit, I'll list in hopefully this side here. It's £198, but you actually get over £600 worth of products, which is amazing value, whether you're thinking of just getting something for yourself or your loved ones. It's an amazing kit and just beautiful skincare. But for April, there's actually even more included. When you join and complete the getting started training within the first 2 weeks of joining, you'll also unlock a free full-size Sunday facial SPF, which is absolutely key for everybody who loves skincare and loves looking after their skin. So it's a gorgeous extra to help get you going as well. So even if you're just a little bit curious or you've been watching from the sidelines, it's definitely worth exploring. If you'd like to know more about the ambassador opportunity, or just to have a chat to see if it could fit around you and your lifestyle, just drop me a message, whether that's here on Facebook or over on Instagram or here on YouTube. You can contact me whichever way is the easiest for you. And as always, your support honestly means the absolute world to me. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it a like and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the notification for the next interview in this series, because there are some really special people still to come. I will see you on the next one.